Colonial administration was designed to protect the authority of the ruling power and manage risk in unfamiliar environments. This meant standardized procedures to ensure control from the center, endless reporting layers, categorizing all of the populations into manageable units, and containing and suppressing dissent rather than addressing and resolving it. This system moved into corporate life post-1945. The OSRB pipeline, as I've outlined here in my essay, gives historical documentation of this fact. What is now the CEO is nothing more than the colonial governor, with each corporation acting as its own little empire. And so departmental heads are provincial commissioners. HR is the district office collecting intelligence on the natives. The purpose of colonial personnel management was not worker well-being. The Pinkertons didn't care about your emotional safety at work. They are there to break strikes and maintain discipline. They are supposed to minimize disruption to production. Today, corporate HR departments will always prioritize employment law compliance rather than empathy towards the individual. In the modern workforce, this actually creates risk. Misunderstandings or simple problems can become grievances due to cold engagements from a HR. Grievance systems designed to solve problems are now turning into systems that contain them. This is why our businesses feel bloated. We've added structural protective layers of leadership that are reproducing an imperial mindset. Yet there's very few who act as collaborative partners to the employees. Our businesses are training people for management and extraction, not leadership. In the US, this dovetailed with a wider cultural shift towards individualism, the rugged individual. The idea that your success or failure in life is strictly down to you and your personal effort. It is totally disconnected from the systemic constraints, the lottery of life. That mindset internally, your colonized work-ass corporate mind, makes it harder for workers to unionize, just as it did in colonial territories. Colonial-style governance is linear, hierarchical, and built for control in stable, predictable, reportable environments. But we live in a volatile world. We live in an interconnected world. And we face existential level threats that require cross-functional collaboration. Every business I've encountered in my professional career is trying to break down silos, bring people together. Yet most corporate leadership is still operating from the MBA colonial blueprint. These prototype leadership programs that mix technical management with cultural control training. But these days, young employees have power that colonial subjects didn't. They have much wider job mobility now. Remote work, TikTok, gig economy. You know much more about the reputation of the employers now. You can look at Glassdoor and LinkedIn and Fishbowl. You know your legal rights better than ever. You have access to the internet and now AI, which can help you structure legal letters and get documents and contracts explained to you in plain English before you sign them. We can access each other quicker and organize in real time through things like Discord and Signal and WhatsApp. And there are multiple new ways that employees can damage the brand of their employer. In that world, these colonial systems make that worse. Applying the colonial risk management model, which is cold, slow, process-heavy engagement, leaves the employer on the back foot. It backfires. What could have been resolved traditionally over a coffee becomes a formal email escalation. And younger employees are less willing to tolerate the bureaucratic indifference. When redundancies hit departments, the worst impacted are usually the survivors. And when they call out on social media, they can reach millions quickly, especially in niche fields. Then, documentation that's supposed to defend the company becomes a paper trail of damages in court because it's showing their hostility and indifference to protection laws and morality. In 2018, young Google employees staged a walkout over HR's handling of a harassment claim. In 2021, employees at Apple used Twitter and personal websites to bypass HR entirely and just publish their grievances publicly. In 2021, the company Basecamp tried to ban political discussions in internal channels. Younger staff saw that as censorship and walked. You don't know who Basecamp are, do you? That's because the reputational harm was damaging. The colonial model assumes that the employer holds all the leverage and that the internal grievance system can contain the dissent. But today's workforce is informed, connected, and mobile. Control-first processes now generate, for these businesses that hold on to them, higher turnover, public backlash, and more expensive legal disputes.